Imagine for a moment, you are standing in a vast hall, plunged into a stifling gloom. The air smells of dried lotus and burning incense. Before you, a monumental balance scale. To your left, the jackal-headed god Anubis adjusts the pans with terrifying precision. To your right, a creature your worst nightmares could not have invented. The body of a hippopotamus, the paws of a lion, and the jaws of a crocodile. It stares at you. It doesn't move. It waits. You've always been told that the Egyptians were obsessed with the afterlife, that they built pyramids for eternity. But here's what official history doesn't tell you. For an ancient Egyptian, death wasn't the end. It wasn't even the most dangerous moment. What they feared most of all wasn't dying, but what lay at the foot of that scale. They feared Ammit, the heart eater. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change everything you thought you knew about Egypt. For them, hell wasn't a place of eternal flames as we understand it today. Hell was nothingness. It was absolute oblivion, and Ammit was the agent of this final extinction. You might be wondering why such a brilliant civilization, capable of aligning blocks of limestone with millimeter precision, lived in terror of a chimera with lion's paws. That's where it gets truly fascinating. To understand this fear, you must immerse yourself in the most perilous journey ever conceived by the human mind, the crossing of the Duat. Imagine your life ends today. Your body is embalmed, your organs placed in canopic jars, but your soul, awakens in a complex underworld, a labyrinth of lakes of fire, giant serpents, and gates guarded by demons with bizarre names like He Who Dances in Blood. You carry with you a copy of the Book of the Dead. It's not a prayer book, it's a survival manual, a kind of magical GPS to keep you from being decapitated at every turn. But after trials beyond our comprehension, you finally arrive at the Hall of Two Truths. This is the moment of truth, the judgment of the soul. Imagine the scene. 42 divine judges sit in rows, each representing a sin. You must step forward and pronounce the negative confession. You don't say, "I have been a good person." You must say, "I have not killed. I have not stolen. I have not polluted the Nile. I have not made others weep." It is a rigorous interrogation under the watchful eye of Osiris, the king of the dead. While you speak, Anubis takes your heart, the seat of your memory and your deeds, and places it on one side of a scale. On the other side, he places a feather, the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. And that is where everything changes. If your heart is heavier than the feather, even by a milligram of guilt or falsehood, the sentence is immediate. No appeal, no purgatory. Ammit, who was lurking in the shadows at the foot of the scale, leaps forth. With a single snap of her jaws, she devours your heart. At that precise moment, you undergo the second death. Your soul is annihilated. You cease to exist. You will never join your ancestors in the fields of Yaru, that paradise of eternal reeds. You are erased from the fabric of the universe. For a people who believed that a person's name had to be spoken for them to live eternally, this total disappearance was absolute terror. It's as if today, not only your life is being erased, but every digital trace, every memory among your loved ones, every atom of your past existence. Total emptiness. Here's a detail few people know. Ammit was never depicted as a deity to be worshipped. No temples were built for her, no offerings were made for her. She was the embodiment of broken order. She was anti-creation. Look more closely at her morphology. Why these three animals? The crocodile, the lion, and the hippopotamus were the three greatest man-eating predators of ancient Egypt. By combining them, the Egyptians created the ultimate metaphysical predator. It's a powerful analogy. Just as a crocodile can snap you up on the banks of the Nile in a flash, Ammit can snap up your eternity. But then, how did they manage not to go mad with fear? This is where the brilliance of this civilization shines. They transformed that fear into an incredibly sophisticated ethical code. If you knew a creature was waiting to weigh your every move, your daily life changed drastically. Every action mattered. Ancient Egypt wasn't ruled by the fear of the police, but by the fear of the scales. It was a society of spiritual self-discipline. Here's where it gets truly surprising. Some archaeologists have discovered heart scarabs placed on mummies. Inscriptions on these amulets literally pleaded with the deceased's heart, "O my heart, do not testify against me at the judgment." They were trying to hack the system to ensure that their own conscience wouldn't betray them before the Devourer. One might think this is a bleak view of existence, but in reality, it was quite the opposite. By placing Ammit at the end of the road, the Egyptians gave infinite weight to life here on earth. They didn't live for death, they lived to earn eternity. Ma'at's feather wasn't a burden, it was a compass. So when you look at these magnificent gold masks in colorful tombs, don't just see wealth, see a desperate and sublime defense against the silence of Ammit. Behold a people who loved life so much they couldn't bear the thought of seeing it extinguished completely. The next time you face a difficult choice, ask yourself, if your heart were placed on the scale today before the pen of truth, would Ammit remain motionless in its corner, or would it already begin to bare its fangs? The history of Egypt isn't made of dead stones. It's made of this constant struggle for the light of conscience to triumph over the devouring shadow. And what if the true secret of the pyramids wasn't their construction, but the reason they were built, to defy the void? By the way, did you know that even the gods could be subject to judgment? But that's another story, even stranger, which we'll explore very soon. So subscribe to the channel and like the video to see more. Thank you for watching. See you soon.